Hey YouTube, it's Brian here. This is going to be my first video on history on this channel. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys, but I'm actually a history major. History is one of my favorite topics to read about and to take long excursions just reading about, various pages and just Wikipedia jumping and reading lengthy articles on things from history. And yeah, one of my favorite things to do is just drift backwards in history and then end up uh, reading about some eccentric, obscure, esoteric person from the Middle Ages somewhere in like Serbia or something. I don't know. Something just completely random like that. Uh, anyways, yeah, let's get on to the number one on my list. It's going to be Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. He served 4 terms in office. He's also known as FDR, and he's consistently ranked one of the best presidents along with Washington and Lincoln, and that's some pretty good company to have. So number two on this list is going to be Kurt Vonnegut, groundbreaking author. His career was over 50 years. I think he's probably best known for the anti-war novel Slaughterhouse-Five, but I personally like the novel Cat's Cradle best. Uh, I think for number three, we're going to go with William Shakespeare, uh, one of the most respected poets and playwrights ever. He's a foundational building block of any English class, pretty much. I learned my favorite poetry format, the villanelle, from his works, and his sonnets are also fantastic. Um, they just are numbered. Sometimes you can see like sonnet number 18 or something like that. The shall I compare thee to a summer's day. I think we'll move on from there. Number four is going to be a mathematical genius, and that's going to be M.C. Escher. He's famous for his crazy, almost impossible looking images in his art, like that picture of the stairs going in every conceivable direction. I believe it was called Relativity. His work was abstract and very idiosyncratic. Check out the 1948 masterpiece, Drawing Hands. It's kind of weird. It almost looks like there's two hands coming out of the paper. Each of them has a pencil, and it's like they're drawing each other. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty trippy to say the least. Number five is going to be Jackie Robinson. He broke the color barrier. He broke baseball's color barrier, which was this stupid line of segregation, which basically kept black people confined to a completely different baseball league. And so Jackie Robinson didn't even get to debut till he was older. But he was such a great player that he put up superior statistics, anyways, even though he only got to play part of his career in the major leagues because he was in the, I hate to say this, in the Negro Leagues for a lot of his career. He put up superior statistics and became a Hall of Famer, even though he had to put up with a ton of brutal heckling. Because he was the first black player, he became a magnet for racists that saw change and they didn't like it. His Hall of Fame career resulted in number 42 being retired across baseball, and Jackie Robinson Day is now celebrated nationwide on April 15th. Yeah, definitely. If there ever was a Hall of Famer, it would be him. Okay, number six on my list is going to be piano legend Fats Waller. I think he's one of the most interesting people to read about from history. My favorite story, all in all, told would have to be a Fats Waller story from throughout history. Uh, it would be the time he was kidnapped by Al Capone's gang, and he thought that they were going to kill him because he'd been like thrown into the back of a van and had a gun pointed at his back and stuff. Um, all in all, he thought he was done for, but it turned out he was actually there to play piano at a birthday party. Um, and he ended up leaving having made thousands of dollars. And I guess he was quite drunk and he ended up at a party for multiple days and had a bunch of fun. So, yeah, that's. I guess he made a bunch in tips because he was the surprise guest for Capone's party. Yeah. Um, so, the innovator of stride piano, I think he wrote songs like Honeysuckle Rose, and one thing that separates Fats Waller, aside from his beautiful playing, there's other people that play, but a lot of them don't sing. I think Fats Waller is kind of unique because he has kind of this happy jazz vocal. Uh, it's almost like a summer, like a spring flower, like blossoming near you. I don't think a lot of singers embody that kind of happiness or that kind of freeness like Fats Waller's voice does. Okay, let's get on to number 7. Number 7 is going to be a little bit of a surprise, I think, because it's going to be Coco the Western Lowland Gorilla. Her intelligence and her ability to learn vast amounts of sign language blurred the lines we so often draw between humans and other animals. She lived to the impressive age of 46, and she's also famous for having a pet kitten. I think the fact that she blurred the lines between what was considered animal and human, I think that she deserves a place on this list for most interesting figures from throughout history. Okay, number 8 on this list is going to be Nikola Tesla. He's kind of usually, I think, swallowed up in the shadow of Thomas Edison when it comes to electricians from throughout history. Nikola Tesla, I think he's the one who developed the modern AC power system. He did experimentation in X-ray imaging and in wireless communication. He's one of the most significant inventors of the 21st century, and he lived his later life in relative obscurity and received little of the credit his many innovations deserved. Often, he's overshadowed throughout history in the 21st century, but it seems like he deserves more attention. At least I think. Okay, number 9 on here is going to be Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the founders of Marvel Comics, at a tie. This is a tie because these two, in their pioneering work, innovated the comic industry and provided many critical characters. I couldn't name one over the other. My favorite Marvel creation has to be the X-Men, and I grew up watching the X-Men, like watching Gambit and Jubilee and and fucking Storm and just all of them fight the Sentinels and watching Professor X and just as different people left the team and joined the team. It was really fun to follow the series. Anyways, yeah. Number 10, on a much more serious note, is Rosa Parks. She refused to relinquish her bus seat on the basis of her skin's color, and she participated in the Montgomery bus boycotts. She's one of the most important women and African Americans in history. Several states, including California and Missouri, actually celebrate her birthday on February 4th as a holiday in honor of the many doors she opened. So, yeah, Rosa Parks is, in my opinion, one of the most significant women from throughout history, definitely American history. Okay, so thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I'm out.